Video is called "The Odds of Going Pro Using 40,000 Marbles." Let's check it out.
This is how many men there are, at least today, on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these marbles represents
Yep.
100,000 men.
Okay.
There are roughly 4 billion of us. Almost all of us, women and men, will play a sport at some point in time. Very few of
Bro,
us
how did
will ever
like
make it to the
how does one think about like video like this? Because I get thinking of it, but like executing it is low-key crazy.
pinnacle. Just how difficult is it to make it to the top? Let's start with the global game, the more literal version of football. Perhaps the most challenging sport to evaluate, as many countries do not accurately track registrations. At least one country does, and that's the birthplace, England. According to the Football Association of England, there are 68,295 registered football players that are 14 years old.
Holy
Over the
shit.
last 4 years, 246 English football players made their debuts with the English Premier League, what many consider to be the top domestic league with the most depth. We'll average that and say there are 61 and a half English rookies each year. So, what are the odds of a 14-year-old making it to the top domestic league in England? About 1 in 1,110 will make it to the EPL. What are the odds of making it for the entire English male population? About 1 in every 5,639. Let's head across the pond to a
Bro, it's crazy how Lamine made it at 16 or 17. Like, holy fucking shit. You know how like, bro, he made it and he was like on Barcelona at that age.
game that is played on
Wow.
a frozen pond. Hockey. The first organized hockey game was held in 1875 in Montreal. Today, over 452,000 Canadians are registered on organized teams. Hockey is clearly the most popular sport for our brothers to the north, and fortunately, Hockey Canada provides wonderful data for youth registrations. Similar to football in England, hockey in Canada is ideal given the unlikelihood of other sports to cannibalize the best athletes. If we break this down to a single youth year, a little more than 30,000 14-year-olds are playing hockey in Canada, who is also responsible for the most NHL players, 295 on opening night. About 120 rookies make their NHL debut every year, so if we apply this Canadian weight of 41.7%, that means roughly 50 of them will be Canadian on average each year. So, what are the odds of making it to the show? At least if you're Canadian? About 1 in 613 if
Okay.
you're playing youth hockey.
That's
If we look at
that's not as bad as soccer, like as a youth level, because the youth one was 1 in every 1,110. This one's 1,613.
all 14-year-old males, those odds are about 1 in every 4,371. How about America's pastime? Baseball. There are nearly 9 million high school males in the U.S. The United States has clean data on high school sports participation, so we know this past year, a little over 478,000 of these boys played baseball. Jumping to the MLB, 72.2% of opening day rosters were from the U.S. We will weight this percentage against the 239 players that make their debuts each year, and multiply that number by 4 since we sampled 4 years of high school. So, just how many make it to the bigs? About 1 in every 693 high school baseball players
Okay.
will make it to the MLB.
Still not as bad as the rest.
For all American males, 1 in every 13,026 will make it to the MLB. Now to the less literal, but more lucrative version of football. What are the odds of making it to the NFL?
The most spectacular showcase the league has
NFL is probably harder. Like,
Football is
I feel like NFL and like basketball are probably like the top two hardest.
the most popular high school sport for males in the
No, actually, football might be easier because I see. Well, I don't really watch football, but I know like a lot of people make it to football. That's
United
all I know.
States. Between all
Like-
forms of
like soccer and basketball might actually be the hardest sports to get into.
Of American football, over 1 million high schoolers play. Since you can't go to the NFL out of high school, probably for good reason, just for fun, let's look at how many of these will play college football.
NCAA.
77,204 will play some level of NCAA football. 228 rookies played in a game last year, and 96.3% of the league is American. Thus, we'll say 220 are from the United States per year on average. So, what are the odds of making it to the most valuable league in the world? 1 in every 1,211 high school football players will make it to the NFL.
Wait, that's higher than the soccer one. Wow.
Looking at all males, 1 in every 10,107.
Football might actually be the hardest one to get into. Never mind.
Team will make it to the NFL. How about the newest major team sport? The one that started in a PE class a little over 100 years ago.
Basketball?
At the high school level, a little over 537,000 boys play on a basketball team. And of those, 3.6% will play in college. That's 19,213 male college basketball players. Each year, about 93 rookies will debut in the top basketball league, the NBA. On average, 71 of them will be Americans.
Okay.
So, how difficult is it to make it to the NBA? 1 in every 1,880 high school basketball players will make it to the NBA. For all males, 1 in every 31,450 will.
The NBA is definitely the hardest. I feel like not only it's because you have to have like a certain height requirement, certain like athletic requirement, like
play in the
some
NBA.
BS, but that's
Looking at
how
all our
the sport is
sports,
played.
basketball appears to be the most challenging to make it to the top. There is much to be learned from all of these games, but I believe we can learn perhaps the most from this last one, at least sociologically, and I want to show you why. And by the way, I put a lot of time, energy, and research into these videos, so if you're enjoying it, I'd really appreciate if you'd subscribe.
Now, honestly, yeah, bro, you deserve this shit. Subscribe, even like, bro. I'll leave the original video in the description, YouTube.
To understand this, let's head back to the beginning. The year is
1890,
1890, and exactly 1 person is playing basketball. In fact, 1 is even aware of it because he invented it. By 1898, the game has caught on a little bit, at least locally. The first professional league is formed, the NBL. 6 teams play on chicken-wired courts. The game is far from global. Canada is playing it recreationally, but these teams are composed of just local Americans. Throughout the next few decades, the professional leagues struggled to stay afloat, and eventually the NBL merges with the NBA. This was important, but what was far more important was something dramatic that happened. 2 inventions that would transform not just basketball, but all of sports. Radio and television. With broadcasting and advertising capabilities, sports became an increasingly larger business, driving revenue and.
But you know what's crazy, chat? Fun fact: wrestling was pulling higher numbers in this day and age.
Growing
Same.
games like basketball, but profits weren't the only outcome. Far from it. In 1978, something monumental would occur, except this was not broadcasted. In fact, this went completely unnoticed, at least at the time. On a completely different continent, far, far away from the NBA, a slim teenager was busy playing goalie when a coach stopped him. He mentioned he should try a different sport where tall people have an advantage. Standing at 6'7", the Nigerian picked up the game quickly, and a few years later, a scout saw him and offered him a visit, an opportunity, all the way at a college in the United States. This was rare. To put it in perspective, this was so rare that the college didn't even pick up the kid at the airport. That belief would change.
The Houston Rockets select
As Hakeem,
#1 pick.
the Dream, would go on to absolutely dominate and become
Michael
the first
Jordan.
African-born player selected in the draft. He would not be the last.
Oh, never mind. Now I'm racist. My bad. My bad, chat. It's not Michael Jordan. This video actually got some aura to it, I can't lie. What's happening? Bro, this probably took him like a month to make. This, like, imagine how much like with all the researching program, I don't know if you use like AI for it, but like researching, programming, thinking about like the video ideas, shooting the video, editing the video, definitely took over a month. So what is happening? I'm confused. This is bowling?
Welcome to Regal Cinemas.
I'm like invested at this point. Okay. It's like, did the video just take a turn? Like, I feel like it's gonna take us to an ad. Aw, chat, I see the story he's telling. I see the story he's telling. Oh my god. I just noticed the story he's telling. He's basically saying there's so many people trying to get into one place, but only one can make it. That's what he's trying to tell.
And the whole
See?
and the whole thing started with a couple of peach baskets.
This is Solomon Alabi. Like Hakeem, he played in the NBA. Like Hakeem, he is from Nigeria. And like Hakeem, he is tall.
Mm-hmm.
Really tall. And just like Hakeem, he grew up playing football.
Were you a soccer player first? Yes.
The only basketball court they had wasn't really a court. It was made of sand. After players like Hakeem proved that there was talent all over the world, the NBA launched a program called Basketball Without Borders, a camp that has helped find hundreds of international players like Solomon.
I was praying. I wish I can be like.
I think basketball might be soccer is the most worldwide sport because you can go maybe to like the middle of nowhere and they'll know what soccer is. Like, I think the 2022 World Cup had something like around like 5 billion viewers. Like, that's crazy.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
This year is probably gonna be
Expanding the
more.
game to the edges of the earth.
Trailblazers select Arvydas Sabonis of the Soviet Union.
Rick Smits of Mary.
Dikembe Mutombo from Georgetown University.
Michael Olowokandi,
Dirk Nowitzki from Würzburg, Germany.
Luol Deng from Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic. With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
However, one might notice something interesting when looking at NBA players that grew up outside of North America. They are largely tall. NBA tall, solo tall. Just look at the top 30 players that weren't born in North America last year. Only one.
Bro, he forgot to put me, man. He forgot to put me. Come on, bro. What are we doing? Like, are you forgetting about me? I'm like 7'6". Like, come on, bro.
Luka Doncic was a guard, and he's 6'7", far from the traditional guard. Furthermore, for the top 32 point guards last year, 29 were from the United States and 2 were from Canada. Only one grew up in a different country. Luka. Why aren't we seeing more solos at shorter positions? What's convenient about height is how straightforward of a measurement it is. And this is where basketball is both unique and extremely telling on the sports sociology front. You know height is important for the game of basketball. You probably don't know just how important it is. Let's take a look. Let's look at this positionally. We'll start with the tallest position, center, where the average NBA starter is 6'10" or taller.
Would I ever be able to make it to the NBA? Like real talk. Would I ever be able to make it to the NBA? Like, these are my attributes. I'm 5'4", 180 pounds. I'm fat. I'm slow, but I'm talentedly gifted. My KD in shooting a basketball is probably like a 3 in every 9,000 million shots. I don't know.
Without shoes. How rare is this? Well, using US CDC data, about 1 in every 111,425 males are this height or taller. To visualize this, if we were to fill college football's largest stadium, the Big House, there would be about 1 NBA center on average in attendance. For someone like Solo, the odds are even more staggering. Only 1 in roughly 3 million US males are this height or taller. A couple notes. The US is taller than the average world height, and importantly, this is barefoot CDC measured height, not someone's self-reported height. Believe it or not, we tend to exaggerate this. At least, males do. We'll look at each position per 100,000 males. At our next position, power forward, where the average barefoot height ranges from 6'7" to 6'10" for our starters, you'd expect to see about 51 or 52 men per 100,000. At small forward, you would see about 411 males between 6'5" and 6'7". Moving to
chat, it keeps going down. I might have a chance to make it into the NBA. Oh, my bad, chat. Y'all couldn't see. But I might have a chance to make it to the NBA. It keeps getting smaller.
Shooting guard, where the average NBA height was 6'3" to 6'4", you would expect to see 2,240 men this height. And what about our final position? Point guard.
Me.
This is Rob. I played with Rob in college. Rob is a D1 point guard. He is very good, 5'10". He's taller than the average American male. But in basketball, he is one of many. The average NBA point guard was 6'2".
Hey, how tall is he?
He is one.
Oh my god. I actually might have a chance. I might have a chance. I actually might have a chance, chat.
One of many.
Might have a chance.
The average NBA point guard was 6'2" without shoes, and since a 5'10" guy can't exactly apply to be a power forward or center, that means Rob is competing with, well, over 97% of the population. Of the 100,000 on attendance at the Big House, 97,295 of them would be competing for one position. So if you're a 6'2" or shorter high school hoops player in the US, about 1 in every 9,206 of you will make it to the NBA.
Damn.
The margin for making it to the NBA is razor thin at any position. The margin for making it as a point guard is thinner, nearing the getting struck by lightning odds. Thinner.
Wow.
This explains something that is often wrongfully discussed. Why are there so many good guards? Or rather, why are there so few good centers? There's Jokic and Embiid, a sharp cliff, and a few solid players. then the Mariana Trench, and then everybody else. Despite a male population of 4 billion, there are so few that fit the center mold, we find a small sample size, which often leads to an increase in variance. But this doesn't explain why we don't see more international guards in the NBA. Clearly, there are far more people in the world than there are in the US.
Yeah.
Where are they? Here's something to think about. Would Ronaldo be kicking a ball if he was born in the US? Would
No.
Kyrie and Fox still be point guards if they were born in Brazil?
No.
Probably not. The more average athletes, at least in terms of height, are choosing their cultural sports. For most of the world, that sport is football. The outliers, like Hakeem and Solo, even if they started playing football, they're getting pulled aside and nudged with a, hey, I think you should try this. And with good reason. How many Kevin Durants did Kevin Durant
no
compete
chat?
against?
I think that is.
Probably less Chris Pauls than Chris Paul had to beat out. Basketball is a paradoxically unique sport. It is both globally inclusive and discriminatory. You have to be tall, at least if you want to make the top league. In truth, you also need another trait, even more selective. You have to be long. If height is the first measurement an NBA scout is concerned with,
Well, I'll tell you now, bro. I am long. Know what I mean? Wink, wink. Winkety, winkety.
the second is a player's wings. The average male has a wingspan that is about 1 to 2% longer than their height, depending on your source. The average NBA player, their wingspan is 6.3% longer than their height. For reference, my wingspan ratio is normal. I am 6'2" without shoes. My wingspan is 6'3". John Wall was the #1 selection in Solomon's draft. However, his wingspan is 6'9¼ meaning he plays more like a 6'6" regular human. This is a crucial distinction. This need for length withers our pool of potential down even further. You can just see it in certain players. Guys that get more deflections or just kind of dunk easier than the rest of us. Their height is hidden in plain sight. So,
Fuck off.
What can we learn from all this? Well, undeniably, some sports are more competitive, at least the odds of making it to the top.
I thought
could argue
soccer
that
was
a Canadian
harder.
teenage hockey player is 3 times as likely to make it to the NHL as an American high school player is to make it to the NBA. Overall, in every sport, athletes face incredible odds, at least if you view this as the point of playing sports. Growing up, my safe place was filled with dreams of playing at the highest level, and I idolized those that did. In a roundabout way, many of us are tricked into believing that this is Eden, being that one marble that is the marvel. But this is a mirage. While we can love watching and playing sports, we all run out of talent in some way at some point in time. That is not a character defect. The pinnacle is not the point. The odds are only against you if you view it that way.
Correct. Yo, holy shit. W video. Yo, YouTube. His link will be in the description. Check him out, bro. W video, bro. W Michael McCalvin, whatever. Doesn't matter.